So most of us have this idea, right? That to become a millionaire, you need this huge salary, or maybe you got to get super lucky and win the lottery. But what if that's all wrong? What if the real path is actually way simpler, way more systematic? Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, one that might just flip how you think about building wealth on its head.
All right, here it is. This is the big question for today. Can $300 a month for 25 years actually make you a millionaire? I mean, really? Can it get you to that seven-figure mark? Well, stick around because the answer is probably not what you're expecting.
And hey, let's get one thing straight right from the start. This is not some get-rich-quick thing. It's not a lottery plan. We are talking about a real, disciplined system, a blueprint that basically anyone can follow to build real financial freedom.
Okay, quick but super important disclaimer before we jump into the numbers. This is all for educational purposes, okay? It is not financial advice. You've always got to do your own homework, all right? With that out of the way, let's do this.
So first off, let's just think about what $300 a month even is. When you really break it down, it's about $10 a day. I mean, for a lot of us, that's what? A couple of takeouts you might not even remember, maybe a few streaming services you barely use. Think of it as just a small bill you pay to your future self first. It's pretty achievable, right?
You know, this really gets to the heart of it. The magic of compounding, it doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It doesn't care if everything in your life is perfect. It only cares about one thing, that you start.
All right, so let's start with the simple math. Let's just forget about market returns and compounding for a second and just look at the money you're actually putting in out of your own pocket. So we're starting with our base number, right? $300 every single month, like clockwork. And we're doing that for 25 years. And what do you know? That works out to be exactly 300 months. So you do the math. $300 times 300 months, that's $90,000. That's what you put in, 90 grand. Now, the big question is, how on earth does $90,000 turn into $1 million? Because it's definitely not going to happen by just letting it sit in a savings account. It has to be invested. Okay, now for a bit of a reality check. And this might surprise you. Let's see what actually happens when we add the power of compounding to that $90,000. So let's look at a few scenarios. If you get a pretty conservative 6% average return, that 90 grand turns into about $200,000. Okay, not bad. At a more realistic 8%, you're looking at around $275,000. And if you get a strong 10% return, which is pretty close to the historical average for the stock market, that grows to about $365,000. And I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Hey, wait a minute. That's not $1 million. And you are absolutely right. It's not even close. So did I just clickbait you? Was this whole thing a lie? Nope, not at all. Because this is where the real lesson starts. So what gives? What's the real secret here? If $300 a month by itself doesn't do it, then how is this the path to $1 million? Here's the thing. That initial $300 a month, that's not the actual plan. Think of it like a training weight at the gym. It's what you use to build the habit, to build that muscle of consistency. It's how you prove to yourself that, yeah, you are the kind of person who can stick with a system month in and month out. And that brings us to the real millionaire system. See, it's not about how much you start with. It's about starting now and then having a way to scale up your plan automatically as your life changes. And here it is. It's a little something I call the raise rule. And honestly, it might be the most powerful trick in the book for a normal person. The rule is so simple. Every single time you get a raise at work, you take half of that new money and you automatically invest it. Just look at how this plays out. You start with that 300. Then a couple years later, you get a raise and bam, you bump it up to 350. Then another raise, it's 450. Before you even realize it, you're putting away 750, maybe even $1,000 a month or more. And the best part, you never even feel it because you're just using money you never had before. And that is when the numbers start to get absolutely crazy. See, this is all about a total mindset shift when it comes to money. It's about finally understanding that small, boring consistency will crush a big, exciting start that you can't actually stick with every single time. You know, most people get stuck because they're asking the wrong question. They're asking, will $300 a month make me rich? But the right question, the one that actually gets you there, is can I build a system so simple, so automatic, that I know I'll still be doing it 25 years from now? And really, that's the main takeaway from all of this. The real flex, the thing that actually builds wealth, it's not how much money you make, it's how consistent you are.
So, okay, how do you actually do this? Let's break it down into a super simple action plan that you could literally start today.
Okay, here we go. 3 steps. Step 1, automate that first $300 investment. Just set it and forget it. Step 2, make a promise to yourself to live by the raise rule. Half of every raise you get from now on goes straight to your investments. And step 3, and this might be the most important one, you never stop, especially when the market is having a bad year. Because you have to remember, when the market is down, that's not a crisis for you. That's a sale. You're just buying great stuff for cheaper. And when you actually do this, when you follow this system, something really cool happens. The whole idea of becoming a millionaire stops feeling like some fantasy, like winning the lottery. It stops being a question of if, and it starts feeling more like a calendar event, something that's just going to happen.